Hey, in this episode, Hayden's got some plans he wants to share with you guys. A little bit more about the safari. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Southern Oregon Safari, where buffalo roam. This is my host Hayden, and I'm Jerry. Hayden, tell us a little bit about this fantastic plan you have for your mountaintop right here.
Well, you know, Jerry, when I first moved here, my grandiose plan was to have a safari-style bed and breakfast that was kind of like a glamping situation, maybe some tree houses, but like what you find a safari tent would be looking like a permanent tent on these large decks, elevated with animals around it everywhere. And that was the original plan when I moved here. But of course, nothing ever goes as planned, right? We know that, especially when you're a rancher and farmer. Things just hit you, especially financial obligations get to you before you can pull the trigger on a project of such a thing. We've been slowly trying to work that direction for many years, and I've kind of had a failure to launch a few times, but we're getting closer and closer, and right now we're really close. I mean, I'm really trying to get this thing going. We're working with an organization, a company called Southern Oregon Wilderness Adventures.
Okay.
Great people. It's a family-owned business. They basically will take you on any adventure you can ever dream of. You want to go moose hunting, you want to go salmon fishing, you want to go bird watching, you want to skydive, whatever it is you can dream of. Jet skiing, you want to jump out of an airplane, they'll jump you out of an airplane. We're kind of partnering with them, and they're going to start bringing us hopefully some busloads of people that can come and do these little, what I call mini safari. So it's like a little mini day safari. You come in, we go and see all the animals, we feed animals, we take some photo ops, and talk about the animals and get some education on them, and that's kind of the plan. And so we're real close to getting that to happen, folks. We're hopefully maybe this season. If we can't pull off this season, definitely next season.
Nice.
We'll have that for the spring and summer next season if we don't pull it off this year. When I first moved here again, you know, I wanted to do this safari bed and breakfast, so that the money was never really there to pull it off. But what we're trying to work on now is also maybe some dry camping.
I don't know what Hip Camp is.
Hip Camp is, well, it's a company. I guess it really doesn't matter. We're
Oh,
giving free
okay.
advertisement, I guess. So we'll have to edit some of that. Sorry. But there's a company called Hip Camp. It's more of like an app, like almost like a bed and breakfast for like Airbnb.
Oh, yeah.
And people can you can offer your property if you have 2 acres or more for people to stay in. You can either do dry camp, or if you have full hookups, you can offer them full hookups. We'll probably start out without any hookups because we don't have that infrastructure set yet. But we're gonna give it a shot and see if we can pull off a hip camp maybe in the between now and next year.
Boy, with the setup you're describing, I know a lot of people that would be chomping at the bit to
Who wouldn't like to sleep where the animals, especially the animals
put their
we have here.
reservations
Yeah,
in.
you know, where the buffalo are, where the ostriches are hanging out. We got a lot of interesting sounds at night to go out and drink your coffee, sit by, or you roast your marshmallows by. You know, you got a lot of animal sounds that are really cool and unique to this, to what we do. So Jerry, as you can see, we're up on a hilltop. And like I said, the property's a hilly terrain property, which has its benefits, and some of the things are not the best, but the hilly terrain's nice because you get the views.
Oh,
We've got some amazing views. Now, of course, this area right now is under a lot of construction. We have trees that we've been taking down. We're cleaning up trees, so you see a lot of wood that's cut. We have our wood mill, which we'll actually have an episode about the wood mill and what that's all about and why we have it and how it helps on this ranch and helps in our situation. But there is some stuff that we've got to work on cleaning up here. We're working on cleaning this hilltop, but this is the main hilltop. When I first purchased this property, I was looking at these amazing views of Mount McLaughlin. But we have this gorgeous view of Mount McLaughlin in one direction. We have the Table Rocks in the other direction. We have Cinnabar Mountain in this direction, and we're just having just a gorgeous views up here on this hilltop. It's just really remarkable. And when I first came to this property, that was my vision. I said, that's where my safari bed and breakfast can be, and that's where the tents will be, because the views are stunning up here, especially sunset and early sunrise in the morning. Unbelievable views.
Well, I'm glad you moved into the neighborhood.
Me too.
A little story I wanted to share with you is that my next door neighbor, Alan, and I heard about your operation moving in. And at first there was some concerns. I says, now, wait a minute, Wildlife Safari is up the road. Mm-hmm. And people live with a symbiotic relationship with Wildlife Safari. But Al told me over the fence line, he goes, Jerry, what happens if his rhinoceros gets out? And it's just like, listen, Alan, Spike is going to do whatever Spike wants to do. I'll just call Hayden and said, come get your puppy dog.
Exactly. No, we're super careful. Everything we have that we do here, we have to by law, and certainly by liability wise, we can't afford any risks like that. So everything is kind of idiot proofed, and everything is double fenced, double gated for
Yeah.
a reason. And most of my animals, if they were ever to get out, which I've never had one get out in 40 years, they stay pretty close to where they're at. They don't venture out. And Spike would just probably play with stuff right in the area, especially my cars in my driveway. He's kind of lazy. He doesn't like to go very far, and there's so many activities and things for him to do. If he were to get out, he'd be busy for a couple days before he decided to move anywhere.
And if you guys seen our first episode, we introduced Spike, and you could see the fencing that is containing that great big old huge lovable boy. I mean, he is just a love.
He's a big ball of love, you know, and he's very sweet. And he's used to people, so he's not aggressive or, you know, like that. But again, so yeah, that's what we've been working on, and that's been my main goal for so long, and we're getting closer. We're just inching closer. I took some time off from it because I was working on other projects, but we're back on it now, and I'm trying really hard to get something in operation soon.
Yeah.
So
Farming is always hard work.
farming and taking care of the animals always comes first before everything.
Yes.
And then you wind up every day, you set your goals, and you say, okay, this is what I'd like to accomplish this week. And then in this world of farming, somebody hands you another plate of something that you can't swallow, or that gets in the way of getting your goals done. So yeah, it's a constant battle. You know, I have all these goals, and there's always something in the way from getting them completed. But we're slowly inching by. We're getting there. We're working at it.
Okay. And so you have a timeline on when to get the safari in? If the time was in your favor,
Yeah.
and finances were in your favor.
I'll be honest with you, I thought my timeline was going to be in March or April.
Okay.
We're now in June we're in July, excuse me. This is the first week of July, isn't it?
Next week is.
Next week. Okay.
Yes.
Shows you what I know. I don't know what
Or this
I don't know what
weekend,
day
yeah.
of the week it is. But we're already at July. So
Yeah.
whether we make it this season, I don't know. We might get a couple tours in this season, but I'm really hoping that next season we'll be ready to rock and roll come as soon as it gets warm enough and dry enough. The hopes and dreams are that you know, you'll be sitting here with your mug of coffee in the morning, and there'll be bison and ostriches and zebras and camels all around you, all kinds of neat critters everywhere. Some giant tortoises. We've got a plethora of really unique and amazing animals here. Our giant tortoises, we'll get to that one day. I got these tortoises that are 400 or 500 pounds. Big Aldabra tropical tortoises, they're giants.
They're huge.
Yeah, and they're just like a Galapagos, so they're really close. We'll get that in one of the episodes.
Yeah. Okay.
But so anyways, you can see, you know, just gorgeous views. I mean, look at this valley, it's just unbelievable. Maybe one day we'll have a zip line going across this to the other side. How cool would that be?
There is a company with a zip line
I
nearby,
know that.
so I'd love to see a zip line here.
Yeah.
That would be another attractant for your adventure park here.
Maybe if that other stuff takes off and we get some good revenue, maybe the zip line will be the next project.
Hey, stay tuned for that one.
Stay tuned.
I'm Jerry, your host,
And I'm Hayden, your co-host.
and this is
Southern Oregon Safaris.
We're at Buffalo Roam.
And we're the Buffalo Roam.
Stay tuned for new episodes coming. We'll see you guys. Be safe. Always be kind. Cool.